is Renee of Renee, and we've been in business a total of 43 years. A lot of people don't realize that. And family-owned business, and we have been here a very long time, and we do a little bit of everything. Let me show you the store.
All right, great.
So
thank you.
This is my lovely staff. Hi.
Hello, everybody.
We are located to North Howe Street, and we would love to, if we are not acquainted with you yet, we would love to get acquainted with you. And I think something that sets us apart from everybody else is how long we've been there, our longevity. And we have very personal service. We have fun. We're not like one of those stuffy jewelry stores that you come in. We like to have fun with our customers and get something that you're looking for, and find exactly what you're looking for.
Great. Well, I know we've got Valentine's Day coming up soon, so let's take a look at some of the cases. And
I'll tell you a little bit about this line. This is a very good line for us. It's called Larimar, and it's Mar-a-Lago, made by Mar-a-Lago. Very high quality line, and this actual stone is only found in the Dominican Republic. And you don't find it very often, very many places, but it is beautiful, and it comes with the adjustable chains as well. And let's see, what are my favorite pieces? Well, all my favorite pieces sell so quick. And look how beautiful that is. That's with white sapphires. Beautiful. It's a beautiful stone for this area.
Don't we all love to sparkle?
Yes. Blue and green seems to sell really well here. Anything blue and green. And we have the really nice, beautiful diamonds. And this is just like the other stuff that we carry. That's just beautiful jewelry. It's not expensive, but it looks good on.
That sounds good.
And we honestly, too, we like to carry things that everybody else doesn't have. And that's, I think, kind of another one of our claim to fame is we just have, look at this one. This is just, love this piece. Is this one so cute? Isn't it?
Ooh, how pretty.
Yeah, this one sells over and over again. And they all have the adjustable chains.
oh, is that an octopus?
Yes, exactly what that is.
Oh, for goodness
It's
sakes.
so
Wait a minute, I
cool.
got to get closer to that one. There we go.
Yeah, that's
Octopus.
You have to come see the Mar-a-Lago line in Larimar. You're going to love it. It's just a very popular line. That's why we put it up front. And the prices are probably, $110.
Oh, there's a lot of people that would like some of that for Valentine's Day. That's coming up, so that would be great.
Yes, exactly. We have, like I said, so many lines in here, so many different things. And we carry genuine gemstones. We carry unique pieces. I would say probably about 50% of our pieces are one of a kind. And the other 50% we could probably get in again. So that's another thing that makes us really unique. And let me show you, let's take a look at this. How beautiful is that? That's a Caribbean blue topaz. That's beautiful. Another one with white sapphires. I love blue. Can you tell? All of our gorgeous rings. Yeah, we have red. And these are also bracelets you can wear all the time. Very comfortable. It fits most 7-inch wrists. And nice quality. And we also have, look at this beautiful piece. This is an Australian boulder opal.
It's beautiful. That is.
And we have them in yellow gold, we have them in yellow gold, white gold, and sterling silver, so all different price points. And I just love this stone. And there are several different types of opals, but that's my favorite. Look at this one. That's called the sideways opal.
Pretty, sideways though.
Yeah. And we have
somebody
them in,
like that one.
We have them in earrings. We have them in pendants. We have them in, as far as rings, a little bit of everything. This is our other line that we carry as well. This is called, and I love this line, and we sell out of it so fast, so I don't have as much to show you, but the reason why we sell out of it so fast is because it's popular. And look at this line. And these are bracelets. They're lifetime warranties. Part of our Charles Garnier collection. Is that not beautiful?
Yeah, wait a minute. Ooh, that's so sparkly. It's hard to get in on. Wait a minute, here we go. Very pretty.
So then you've got stuff like this, but it's so easy to put on. Very easy to wear. There's so many different colors and so many different designs. Prices start on these at about $100.
Oh, wow.
$100. It's a very affordable line. That's kind of what I like. I like to find things that are very affordable, but look very, very nice and look way more expensive than they are.
I see this gold starfish precious.
Oh, you like that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's
look
what
at
it's
this.
nice and sparkly.
Gold starfish.
Oh, I like that.
Ooh.
And this
That
opens
is
up
good.
as well.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, we like some things that are different.
Oh,
We do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Karen, I need to put this on you. So I know. We can just walk you.
It might not
walk
come
out
off.
with this, girl. We can. And then in
She
this,
will let you take it home with her. With you.
in this line too, we also have earrings. We have bracelets. We have rings, and it's just a really, really, really good line for us. We have colored stones in this line, and of course our gold. You know, who doesn't like gold? That's always a very popular, popular addition to any jewelry. I mean, you can always, use gold.
And I see you got a lot of selections over here on the
Yes.
bridal area.
This we
Back behind you over
do
here,
a
Karen.
lot
Wait a
of.
minute, bridal. All right, guys. If
If
you're in the market,
Right. This is our probably one of our claim to fames as well. I think the things that we do the best are design work and diamonds.
all right. So you do design your own jewelry.
I
so-
design a lot of jewelry. People will come in here, want something different. I can, from being in the business for 40
Almost
years.
your whole life?
Basically almost my whole life. It's very easy to help them and get exactly what they're looking for, put them in the right direction. Free consultations, and I'll draw things for them, and they either go home and think about it, and they're like, or they'll say, that's perfect, that's exactly what I was looking for. But I spend the time with them and to help. Now this is, gotta show you this, fabulous deal. Our 1 carat, 1.5, and our 2 carat diamonds, solitaires, really good prices. We carry a lot of loose diamonds as well. So we have pretty much anything that you want. Better prices in the internet. Just saying. We are. People have to come in
So
to
we're
see
here at
it.
Renee's Fine Jewelry at
To see
602 North Howe Street. Now, do you do repairs as well?
We do all types of jewelry repairs. Anything that you can do. We have 2 jewelers. And so we do actually things that nobody else will do. We have laser welder that we can use. We have a torch that we can use. We do a lot of on-site stuff as well. Look how beautiful this is. Natural fancy yellow diamonds. And now see,
I don't
this
know
is
which
some
one
of
I
our
like better, the blue
nice
one or the
stuff.
other
But
one? Yeah.
you know what though, guys? We have things from $20 on up to $10,000. And everything in between. So if somebody comes in here, I am very particular about making sure everybody can find something
Well, that's really
that walks
sparkling.
in. Is that
It
not
does
beautiful?
sparkle. Sparkle.
Look at this ring, how beautiful it is. That's a handmade ring.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
It's tri-gold, it's 14 karat or 18 karat diamonds, rose gold, yellow gold, and white gold. The majority of our case is like this. And as far as diamond solitaires and diamond rings, we have so much to choose from. I mean, we really have so much to choose from. We've got, here's the one, this right here. Look how pretty this is. This is, and we have a lot of unique one-of-a-kind diamond solitaires as well. Things that you see just the simple diamonds
Very pretty.
with the diamonds down the side, or things that you're not going to find anywhere else like this one.
Well, Renee's Fine Jewelry is here located at 602 North Howe Street. You can go on their website, which is,
Renee'sFineJewelry.com.
and you do have a Facebook page as well.
We do have a Facebook page. We are getting this updated more and more. We're working on it, but there's a lot of information on there. You can also send, of course, email us, and that's rfjewelers yahoo.com. You can do that, and there's all kinds of different ways to get a hold of us.
But the best way
So-
to do is just to come on in and see what they have.
Yes.
Inventory is
True story.
always changing.
Constantly changing.
You can get a
That's the reason why we don't
custom-made.
have everything updated on the website, because as soon as it sells, we get something new in. I go to jewelry shows 6 times a year, and I go to big buy-in trips, and also I'll go to Antwerp and buy diamonds from the cutting factories. That's also very huge as well.
Right.
And something I didn't mention is we do watch repair, so all types of watch repair, bands, batteries. I do appraisal services as well. And we do really, truly anything a real high quality full service jeweler does, and then some.
Wonderful.
So we don't like telling anybody no.
They also have over on
We
the other
don't.
side, they have some nice stuff over here on the corner
Yeah.
there.
Let me
too.
also
You
show
can
you this
come check
line
out
right
that.
here too. The Vahan line is another very popular
Let me see
line.
it.
I can show you stuff all day, but we don't have all day. We have so much stuff.
I was admiring
They're
her
just gonna
necklace
have
that
to-
she's got on there.
Yeah, they're just,
too.
you guys are just gonna have to come in.
Yeah.
And then we can play. We're
Check it out.
fun. We enjoy our customers. This is another beautiful piece, and it is it's diamonds by the yard,
Very pretty.
and it's just looks so pretty on, and it fits so many different styles. We've got it in a 1/4 carat total weight, 1/2 carat total weight, 1 carat total weight. You can get it also more, and I think we've done it as much as 4 carats total weight.
Wow.
And it's just diamonds around your whole neck.
Very
Mhm.
nice.
It's beautiful.
Well, Renee, we appreciate you allowing us to come in today. We're going to let you get back to designing and fixing and
Diamonds.
selling some beautiful things that women and men alike will love.
And don't forget it's Valentine's.
Yes,
We've got so
Valentine's.
many wonderful Valentine's specials. I would love to share all of that, but you're just going to have to come in to see for yourself. You are.
Now, are you going to have a special night for the gentleman to come in or anything?
For
or
Valentine's?
For Valentine's Day?
No, they
or
just have to do it during store hours.
around? Okay.
I mean, these guys can find us.
I know you do one at Christmas. You do one at Christmas.
Yes,
That's
the ladies' night.
The
Yeah, the ladies'
ladies'
night. Men don't want to have a men's night, you
So
know.
what are
None of
your
us there's
hours?
beer and, beer and a big screen TV and a football game or something.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Let them know what your hours are.
Yes.
What are your normal
Okay,
hours?
typical normal hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 5. And we are open as special occasions on Mondays. So, but it's typically Tuesday from 10 to 5. I am typically always available from 6 o'clock to sometimes 10:30. I'm communicating with customers until 10:30.
By
So
email.
I'm typically
You're not in the
Messenger. A lot of people can contact me through Facebook. Text, messaging. So I'm really never off. If somebody has a question, please, let me know. And
Jewelry
I'll be
emergency.
I'll be very happy to help you. We even deliver. We do that too.
That's
the
wonderful.
beautiful thing about a hometown jeweler. You can do all those things that other jewelers, the big jewelers, don't. And our prices, our service, speaks for themselves.
Well, gentlemen out there, if you want to keep out of the doghouse this Valentine's Day,
True.
come see Renee at Renee's Fine Jewelry at 602 North Howe Street, and tell them you watched Facebook Live and you are there to keep out of trouble.
Absolutely. Like me on Facebook.
There we go. Thank you, Renee. You have a great day. We're going to head on into our carpool now. Penny, good to see you.
You too.
Come on out and see these ladies, and they will fix you right up, and we're going to pan over so you see everything. And
Bye, dear. Nice to see you, Miss Karen.
so
Bye,
great
guys.
to see you. Thank
Bye,
you. All right, we're going to get, that was lovely. There's so many good pieces in there. I don't know which one I'd like. But Renee's is located in between Uncorked by the Sea and Loco Joe's on 602 North Howe Street. And let's see who's in our carpool today. Why, good morning.
Good morning.
It's Dr. Oates, and he is our superintendent of Brunswick County Schools. So we are going to get in. Try to do it gracefully, but it never happens. Goodness. Dr. Oates, how are you today?
I'm cold.
I know.
But other than that, I'm fine.
It is a little chilly today, isn't it?
It is.
Oh.
It is.
We are, let's see here. Again, we are here with Dr. Oates with the Brunswick County Schools Superintendent, and you have not had this position very long,
Not
have
this
you?
position. I have not. All of 2 months and 31 days.
Good gracious.
So,
Well, the former superintendent, Mr. Tubbs, he retired,
yes.
and they went into a search for a new superintendent and really promoted from within. So that is amazing, isn't
That's
it?
correct. It is it's an honor. We're really humbled to be in this position, particularly coming after my good friend Les.
Yes.
He was definitely one to work with and learn from.
Well, we know you're doing an amazing job at Brunswick County Schools. We've got some really fabulous teachers out there in our system.
We do.
And, we have an administrative section that cares about the students, and you're their leader, and I know you do as well.
Right.
So let's hear a little bit about what's going on at Brunswick County Schools.
Well, a lot is going on. We have a lot of students that we are taking care of, 12,541 as of today.
That's a lot of kids.
So that's a lot of kids that we have, and the number will probably continue to grow. We want to make sure that our kids are safe. That's paramount for us, and that they're learning. But I just wanted to kind of go back on something you said earlier, and that's about our teaching staff. We have some of the best teachers that I've ever encountered here in Brunswick County, and we want to make sure that they're supported and able to do the great job that they've been able to do thus far. Our principals, our leadership in the buildings, they're strong. We're making sure that they are growing in their leadership. We like to do what's called site-based management. We want to give principals the authority and the autonomy to make some of the decisions, many of the decisions that will affect their school. We don't want to have a top-down type of leadership from the central office making decisions for things that will happen at the building level. So we want to make sure our principals have that autonomy. We are finishing up our strategic plan, and our strategic plan is going to be a 5-year plan that will basically be a blueprint for everything that we do in the district for the next 5 years. It's going to run from 2019 until 2024, and we plan to present that to our board on Tuesday at the board meeting. And how we developed this plan, it was a lot of community input. When I assumed the role of superintendent, one of the first things that we did was to start work on the strategic plan, and when I wanted to make sure that our communities across our district had input into the formulation of the plan. So we had 3 community public information meetings. We had one in North Brunswick, one at South Brunswick, and the final one was at Shallotte Middle School. And we invited the entire community to come out and give their input on what they wanted to see, how they wanted to see their school system progress for the next 5 years. Got a lot of valuable information from those meetings. A good time to just hear from our constituents, our stakeholders, and we want to make sure that those ideas are reflected in the plan. So once we've concluded those 3 meetings, we had a strategic task force convening meeting to take that information from the public information sessions and basically formulate those into goals and strategies for the strategic plan. That group consisted of many of our educators, many of our elected officials, and many of our community members. They met twice and developed those goals and strategies. Once those 2 meetings concluded, my cabinet and I, we sat with the consultant and we just simply placed those strategies into the years that we could most effectively implement them. So we just basically put what they gave us, put them in the years for the plan, and we had our first unveiling, if you will, of the draft plan last night. The strategic plan committee, they came back together and kind of just reviewed the plan as it was presented as a final draft, and we'll again look to present it next Tuesday at the board meeting.
That sounds good. Now we do have an elected Board of Education. Some areas don't have elected Board of Educations throughout this.
Well, in our state, that's how all board members are typically from elected positions. That is not the case always in other places across the nation, in other states.
Yeah. And you've got a pretty good board. I mean,
we do. We have some educators. Of course, we have law enforcement. We have folks who are community leaders. So it's a good mix, and each one of them brings a special component to making our education system here in Brunswick County work.
And you did mention the law enforcement, and school safety is always on everybody's concerns. So do you want to talk about how you guys have addressed those issues?
We are blessed here in Brunswick County. It is different in many districts across the state, in most different districts, I'd say. We have a school resource officer in every one of our schools, and that is unheard of in many other places. Our relationship with the sheriff's office is second to none. moment's notice, we can communicate with them if there are issues that take place. As I said from the outset, safety is the paramount with what we do in Brunswick County. We want to make sure when students are dropped off at the school or when they arrive on buses, from the time they leave until they get back to their door, we want to ensure that they're safe at all times. And I tell folks all the time, I have a very vested interest in this because I have a daughter that's 14 years old in North Brunswick. So I want to make sure when she gets to school that I see her face when she gets back. So I want to make sure all students are kept safe all the time. As far as the way we secure our buildings, you can't go to any school in our district and just walk through the door. All of our doors have an electronic or magnetic buzz-in system. There are cameras everywhere. We know you're on campus before you are even close to the door. The front office receptionists, they have, a screen that shows all the cameras. Our school resource officers have cameras that they're looking at, screens that they can see all the cameras. Our principals do, it's on their computer monitors. I even have them in my office. I can zoom in to any school at any time and see what's going on. Not necessarily classrooms, but I can definitely see in the halls and outside the perimeter of the building. So when visitors come to the school, I don't want them to feel that we are trying to keep folks out, but we want to make sure our students are safe. So in addition to having the buzz-in system, you'll go to our elementary and our middle schools and some of our high schools as well. I think all of them at this point. We have what we call the Identikit system. If you wanted to check a child out, you have to go in and have your license or your identification scanned, and you will be given a sticker to take to the receptionist, and it's then and only then that the student will be released to you if you're on the student's checkout list. So we have many different things in effect to make sure our kids are safe, and those are just a few, and we're continually trying to make sure that we are a step ahead of anything that we see coming down the pike.
Again, we're here in our carpool with Dr. Oates, the Superintendent of Brunswick County Schools. We also have Brenda Bowling, who is the Chairman of our Business Development's It's Worth the Drive carpool. And Mitzi Swing is our driver today. And we just had somebody go crazy driving by us. Like, when you were talking to safety, I kept saying, oh, that doesn't look safe. But I'm glad our kids are safe.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Brunswick County Schools and some of the achievements. I know you guys have had a lot of achievements.
We have, and one of the things that I've started with my superintendency is I want to ensure that our students are growing, and that's been my theme since day one. I want to make sure that when a student comes to us at the beginning of the year, they have made growth for that particular year. We want to make sure that they have gotten the instruction that they would have received by simply being in that teacher's classroom for the year.
No seat warmers in Brunswick
No seat
County.
warmers. We want to make sure folks are growing continually. If a student came in below grade level, for instance, if they're reading on a second grade level at the end of the third grade year, we want to make sure that at least they have grown from that point. And that's what this is all about, to make sure that these students are continually growing. So the teacher may not have brought that student from a second grade reading level to a fourth grade reading level, but by the end of that year, they started at a second and now they're reading on a third. So we want to make sure that at least they're moving each year, and that's the direction that we're trying to take the district in, looking at a growth model. One of our stellar schools, Union Elementary, has just been nominated for a National Blue Ribbon Award, and that is a very prestigious award. I think 9 in our state were nominated, and that's something that we take pride in. The staff, not only at Union, but we have achievements all over our district. Yesterday was talking with our Director of Technology, and if you didn't know, we have just implemented a digital library that is accessible by any smart device, any phone, any iPad, and since we started it January 7th, we have had over 2,700 books checked out on our digital library from students and staff.
Wow. That's a lot of books.
That's a lot of books, and we have over 1,000 books on hold on a wait list for folks to finish reading them so they can check them out digitally as well.
And so that's free to our students.
That is
correct?
free to our students, no cost at all. All that you can do is just have access to the internet to be able to get on the digital library. But that's functioning well. So many things that we're doing well. Again, we take pride in our safety. We take pride in the number of teachers that choose to come to Brunswick County. Being sandwiched between Horry County and New Hanover County is sometimes a daunting task, but those folks that we get here in our district are some of the greatest folks that I've been able to associate with in the education profession.
I know we do have a lot of great teachers out there in the system, and they work hard every day for our students and to make sure that they're learning. And it's hard because you're competing with the beach. I mean, it's hard to keep them in school.
It is.
They have a lot of different interests pulling at them.
And that's the point of good education and good instruction. We want to make sure it's really engaging, because I'm sure for anyone in this car, when we went to school, it was totally different.
Yes.
We would sit in our desk, we would open our books, we would copy the notes from the board, or try to write down what the teacher was saying. We are now teaching kids who come to us as digital natives. So we have to be able to not slow them down when they get to us, because where we may be learning how to use a smartphone or an iPad, they've been doing this since they could walk, playing with some type of toy or educational thing that would allow them to swipe and all this kind of thing that we do now. They know how to do it coming in. But we also have to keep in mind, we have to teach them the things that they're not used to. It was interesting, not too long ago, I was having a conversation with my daughter, and I was telling her that, well, just go ahead and mail the letter.
Uh-oh.
And she was like, what?
Mail? Mail?
What? Mail the letter? I was like, yeah, address the envelope, and then put a stamp on it, and just go by outside and put it in the mailbox.
Yes.
That's
well, funny.
Where do I put my name? See, those are the things that kids may not know.
We're dinosaurs, aren't we?
We're dinosaurs, but we still have some things that we can offer.
That's true.
Just basic things. I'm looking to do some things where we can ensure that students, when they leave us, they have some financial literacy. They know how to write checks. They know how to balance the checkbook as opposed to just using a debit card.
That's wonderful.
And going about it that way. And I know that would appeal right down your
Yes.
Oh, Brenda's happy about
how
that.
to balance, that you've got to keep up with everything that's going on.
So everything is so automated, but there's some value in knowing and having a hands-on approach to how you handle your finances and handle business affairs as you.
For those of you that don't know, Brenda works for BB&T. She volunteers at the chamber, so that's the reference to financial literacy being a very important part for her.
I think one thing that's also important, because like you say, they're all in the digital, they're all got their faces in their phones, and they need to have that person-to-person conversation. We need to work on that too, having communications with people.
I agree.
So that's also what they get in the school environment, is they're able to learn that too.
One of the things that I'm hoping to do, I've spoken with our counseling supervisor, and I actually got this information from a parent that was at the North Brunswick community input meeting for our strategic plan. I'm looking to do a public screening of a film. It's called Screenagers. And what it does is basically telling us how, even though the screens that we have on our phones and iPads, we're constantly in them and using them, but sometimes we lose that person-to-person communication ability because we're so used to sending a text or an email and not having that one-on-one conversation. So this documentary I'm hoping to do it in March and just have the community at large. Hopefully we can get it at Odell Williamson and screen it and show parents of teenagers and just children, period, of how much time we spend with our devices and how that diminishes our ability to have these one-on-one conversations that are so crucial, as we call them, soft skills, when we're looking for employment down the road. So I think that'll be a good thing to do.
I think it's interesting they call them soft skills, but they're the most important.
They're the most important skills.
Communication.
They are.
Well, we're going to take a ride down the beachfront today. sometimes we go down Oak Island Drive, sometimes we go down the beach, so we can get at least a sneak peek of the ocean for those of you that are watching that maybe are from outside the area that don't get the chance to come down and see this beautiful ocean. And we're going to give you a little sneak peek right now. I don't know what that big crane's doing. It's always interesting on the drives to see what people are out there.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
At least we have sunshine here, where a lot of the country has this bitter cold and all that snow and everything. So just wanted to share a little bit of our sun. And we're not in freezing temperatures. It is a little cold here at the beach. I don't think you'd want to go out there and go jump in the ocean today, but
How pretty that
it's
is
beautiful.
today. We are above freezing.
Yes, right.
Well, Dr. Oates, we are with Dr. Oates, who is the superintendent of the Brunswick County Schools. And Dr. Oates was telling us about all the great things that are going on at Brunswick County Schools. Tell us some other stuff that that you may want to let people know about.
Well, of course, a few years ago, the citizens of Brunswick County voted for a school bond, $152 million bond, and we are in the middle of executing that bond. The first phase will be some major construction that we have going on. We're actually in the process of building a new Town Creek Middle School. I was just out at Town Creek Elementary the other day and was able to go and see the progress there. That's coming along well.
Middle schools and high schools are expensive to build, are they not?
Extremely expensive to build. High schools, of course, depending on where you can find land, they may be upwards of $100,000 and some $1,000 easily. By the time you encounter athletic fields and stadiums and that type of thing for sports, not to mention what just goes on inside the building for academics. So they're very expensive to build, so we're very grateful for the citizens voting to have the bond come in. But as you know, the overcrowding in the northern region, it continues to grow. So we definitely needed a new middle school at Town Creek to alleviate some of the issues with overpopulation at Leland Middle and just that area in general. So we're looking at the opening of the new Town Creek Middle School approximately 2020, around May of 2020, I think it is. So progress is going well on that. We've added additions to the existing Town Creek Elementary School, classroom additions, so we can accommodate more students there. We've done the same recently at North Brunswick. We've added an entire new wing at North Brunswick. And if you get a chance to go out there, it's definitely a beautiful building. We have athletic improvements going on at North Brunswick, at South Brunswick High School. Right now we have field houses being built that all the part of the bond. So as you can tell, the bond is solely for construction of or improvements in our existing facilities. There's some of the improvements and construction that goes on that you may not readily see, and that's in our technology infrastructure. We are doing a one-to-one initiative, which means every child in our district, we're planning to put an electronic device in their hands one-to-one, so each one of them will have one. So in order to do that, we have to make sure that our infrastructure can support the wireless technology that is needed to use those. And it's not just something for students to be able to play on. This is kind of the engagement that I spoke about with teachers. They are using these tools for their day-to-day instruction as well. So it's a fun time here in Brunswick County with all the things we have going on with the bond as well.
We have a lot of people that have retired from other states that maybe aren't familiar with how the school system in Brunswick County, the public school system, is funded. Could you address how you get your funding so that people understand that when the bonds come up, it's really a good thing to vote for in favor of?
Our funding comes from 3 sources, and the majority of our funding comes from the state. The General Assembly allocates money based on the number of students we have in our district. So if our district continues to grow, we will get basically just means we will get more funding for each of those students. If it decreases over time, we will of course lose some of the funding from the state. But we have the funding from the state. We also have have funding from the federal government, which is usually with our exceptional children's programs, Title I funds, those types of things. Those come from the federal government. But we also have a very robust funding from our local economy. We have a funding agreement with our commissioners. That's a 36.5% funding agreement for the next. It was a 4-year agreement. I think we're in the 2nd year of that agreement. So that is what we get from our board of commissioners, and we're able to use those funds locally to augment some of the things that the state can't do or chooses not to do. For example, many of our schools have multiple assistant principals. The state gives us a formula. For so many students, you have this many assistant principals, or for so many students, you have this many teachers. So once we've met that allocation with the state, our local funds come in and we can add to that to make sure that our schools are staffed adequately. So those are the 3 funding sources that we have, and of course we're always writing grants and looking for those types of things to help out as well.
And I know you have a significant partnership with the Brunswick Community College and the early colleges there. So there's so many great things that our students have the to avail themselves of, to get some higher education and transfer that on to the colleges and universities in North Carolina.
True. We're proud of the accomplishments of our early college. They too were a national Blue Ribbon school a couple of years ago, I think it was. And we are strongly encouraging many of our high school students to take advantage of the Career and College Promise, which means that they can take courses now as high schoolers at BCC. And these courses, if they're planning to go to college or university, can be transferred there, and they can save their parents a lot of money because they won't have to take those courses when they get to college.
And you're also looking at the trades, from what I understand.
We are. The Coast is our newest endeavor. It's on the campus of what used to be the Brunswick County Academy. It is now the Coast, and we're looking and putting a heavy emphasis on career and technical education. And this is also would be a part of our bond, outfitting that facility to look at auto mechanics. We're looking at the culinary trades. We have clean energy going on there right now. So there are many things that we're looking at putting at the Coast that would bring it fully into a career and technical education high school.
That's great. Well, Dr. Oates, we sure appreciate you taking your time today to be with us and talking about Brunswick County Schools. Is there anything else that you would like to add before we stop?
Brunswick County Schools is still the best bet out there.
Amen. Amen. Well, we love our South Brunswick Middle and High School and our Southport Elementary that are in our district, as well as Bolivia Elementary and Virginia Williamson. So we're familiar with those schools, but we know that throughout the Brunswick County school system, there are many, many caring teachers who are out there doing some great work, some great administrators.
Yes.
And with you as their lead, I have no qualms that we will have a great future with our students.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we're going to sign off right now, and then we're going to come back and go through Hippie Chick Granola Company. And I understand they're going to give us like a Rachel Ray kind of tour. So please join us again in just a few seconds.